Kick it off, Samsung in the news because of super moon photos. This, of course, is that overlay thing. You take a photo of the moon, and then everyone's like, hey, my preview didn't look that good until I got zoomed to a certain point, and with my scene optimizer turned on, the moon looks a hell of a lot better. Mm-hmm. And we had this happen already. This happened with Huawei,
yeah.
And I don't know. I thought we had been over this, but I guess we hadn't been over this.
Yeah, Samsung actually responded.
People are back in an uproar. Samsung is hoping to talk its way out of a controversy over its camera processing technology. The company has shared an explanation of the moon photo detection system it has used since the Galaxy S21. If you have Scene Optimizer turned on, AI detects when you're taking a clear photo of the moon at 25 times zoom or above. That's when you'll notice it kick in. The tech lowers the brightness, captures multiple frames to produce a bright, low-noise picture, and uses a neural network to enhance the detail using high-resolution reference image for comparison. You can turn this off and take a terrible photo of the moon if you choose to. That's another option for you.
Yeah, this blurry mess.
Since you're already aiming at the moon, which we can talk at lengths about how useful that actually is, but since you're already looking at the moon, you might as well get a usable photo instead of some potato can blob. You can turn the Scene Optimizer off. Samsung knows that this won't work if you either take a snapshot of the obscured moon or use an image that clearly wasn't taken on Earth. That's interesting. The moon is tidally locked to the planet, so you'll always see the same lunar surface unless you go to space. The defense comes after Reddit user Break Photos alleged that Samsung was faking moon images by adding detail that wasn't present in the raw scene to make this case. Break Photos even snapped pictures of blurry low-resolution images on a computer screen. There's no info that the phone could recover from the shot, even with the blown-out exposure. So what he did, and this happens in our world sometimes, where you have a shot that's blown out, where you have the absence of data, essentially there's nothing left there. Mm-hmm. You can't recover it. I mean, there are methods around this, shooting raw or something like that. But in general terms, yeah, if you blow it out, there shouldn't be detail there. And then this individual is noticing, hey, even in the spots where there's a lack of data, data's being inserted, it's being guessed there, not just enhanced, but guessed and inserted and added. Shout out, Felix. Thanks for Super Chat. So anyway, that was the Reddit thread that kicked things off, and then you had some responses of other people kind of putting their 2 bits into it, and then obviously we had our reference point of the previous time that occurred. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so now we have these follow-ups, these longer piece follow-ups, in order to kind of, I guess, offer more resolution.
Hey.
You see that? You see that one?
That's a zinger.
So just scroll up to the paragraph just above that one. The defense comes after the Reddit to make the case. He snapped pictures of the blurry photos and the blown-out exposure. This isn't an outright fake. Samsung is using the actual shot as a baseline. However, its algorithms are clearly going to an extreme by producing photos that don't represent what you got through the lens. The company appears to be aware of this too, as it says is refining Scene Optimizer to reduce any potential confusion between taking photos of the actual moon and mere images of it. All right, so we've had beauty modes, we've had moon modes, we have all types of modes, and people are going to keep pushing against them to find where the boundaries exist, the degree to which there's interference, and whether or not people are satisfied by that. Mm-hmm. In this case, there's absolutely some guesswork going on. They're saying it's not a simple Photoshop, but there's some guesswork going on and some manipulation going on.
Sure.
But for me, the big one here is, what is your alternative? You're going to get out a big space-capable camera setup with a tripod and a long exposure and everything. Is that really... Are you really considering this? No. So are we back in the land of language and how you represent it and how you talk about it? They call it Scene Optimizer. Scene Optimizer. Are you not happy with that? Would you like it to be called Fake Moon Optimizer? And then you're like, okay, cool. Or Enhanced Moon Optimizer. Is that okay? Or like, we're back in the land of language, because the point is you're taking a photo, a blurry photo of the moon at this tremendous zoom. Mm-hmm. Where on any other phone, you're not going to yield anything that you would ever post anywhere or use for any other purpose. Mm-hmm. So this is an obvious improvement if this is what you aim to do, although there's a whole other side argument about why this is even important to do. So maybe we can talk about the possibility of changing the language around how this is described. And maybe this is a communication issue, because I think people will, for the type of people who want to do this, which is already a small number, practically speaking, that want to do this on a semi-regular basis, this is a better This is a better version than they're going to get in using any other method that happens to be in their pocket, I assume, in most cases, without external hardware or ways to stabilize the camera for the long exposure necessary to get an actual useful photo of light that's that far away.
Or you can download a high-resolution image of the moon, you know?
I know. That's what other people are saying. They're like, well,
that too.
The moon is always the moon. What are you really trying to prove here?
But it's the principle. It's the language.
It's the communication about it. And that's what gets people going every time. And people love the story where the manufacturer, the big company, the big target is hiding something from you, whether it's Samsung or Apple. And the bigger the company, the more controversial, the more exciting, whatever.
Sure.